Hi. It's been a while, and I'm really sorry about that. There has just been so much going on, and part of it was saying goodbye to Haynes. Part of it was a 10-day trip across the country. Part of it was coming to terms with the reality of, coming back to New York to die, basically. And then when I got here, all these beautiful friends kind of descended upon us, not having seen us for 18 months, or me, not in person. And yeah, that was a lot. And it's my fault. I mean, I should have drawn some boundaries, and I just don't even think I knew what I needed. Friends had delivered us food, helped clean up the house a little bit, but I still came home to, gardens with 6-foot weeds, dust on everything, and a lot to unpack. Not enough to unpack. Most of my life is still in Alaska and laid out in a house that I designed to perfectly suit my needs. And this is the house where I had nearly died several times during chemo. So it's got a lot of bad juju in many ways and really good memories in others. So I'm trying to find a balance. So I just want to say that while I'm sorry I wasn't available to kind of explain where I was at, I'm still not entirely sure what that looks like. We had family come for 5 days, not far after us coming off our trip. And, even in the best of circumstances, that's takes some energy, right? And, these are not the best of circumstances. So I'm just feeling like my chest just wants to explode. I have not been alone for a month. I left you guys a little note 2 weeks ago because I know some of you were worried about me, and I'm sorry about that. But I am in New York. I'm safe, and I really just want you to know that. I also, I've been making these little gifts for my friends, videos that basically memorialize our last time together in Haynes, and we had a lot of incredible moments, a lot of really hard moments, but they were so beautiful, and some were just downright funny. And I'm back to the state of airplanes and noise, even though I live at the end of a mile-long dead-end dirt road in a log cabin. It's still maddening to me. I can't handle all this noise. So anyway, I'm going to give you a few snippets of what the larger videos are that I'm sharing with my family and friends. Please know that this is for them. I'm not making this as some kind of production that is 3 minutes to satisfy an algorithm. These are the things that were important to us, and I want to have this memory bank to exist outside of my existence. I'll give you a little snippet of each one just to kind of outline what it was like to leave Haynes. For the 2 weeks beforehand, we got to spend the most glorious time camping on the Klapini Flats with our friends Ann and Tim and all of our dogs. It was just easy because that's the kind of friends that they are. And I got to go see the fish as they were spawning, and it was a lot of paddling. It was 3 miles to the end of the lake, and then 1 mile over, and then another few miles up because we wanted to go do the whole thing. I kept saying, how much longer till the next point? Tim kept saying 5 minutes. It was not 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes every 5 minutes for maybe, 25 minutes. But it was really special and sacred to be with those salmon.
We did it.
We can't feel our fingers, but we did it. Okay, but we saw the fish, and I cried.
And that was important.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, our Ring cameras caught our last solo stove fire that we got to have, just Tim and I. And Tim and I found the perfect day to paddle across the inlet at high tide, which it's either been too windy or the tide's not been right. And I have wanted to do this for 2 years, and I finally got to do it one time before we left. And while I should have done this a lot sooner, I finally put some art up in my office, and these are paintings that I had made that were just scratch paintings, but I needed to put something up because nobody else is going to decorate the space. Got to spend time with Corey and Mandy and Tim, and we are usually so respectful on the lake, but we literally blasted Taylor Swift and just had the best time. We called ourselves the Redneck Chilkoot Yacht Club as we tied ourselves together with a flotilla. We had my will signing party, and that was so much better than going to a notary at the bank. My friends all surrounded me, and we even cheersed.
Cheers!
Corey said, you know, everybody look at the charm that's attached to your glass. Everyone is different. And I looked at mine, and it was a skull. So we had a good laugh over that. We were so overwhelmed, and we thought I'd said goodbye to the key people in my life. And I had so many other people I did want to see, but I wasn't sure how to make that happen and how to fit in before we were leaving. So just a few days before we left, we were burning our trash, and I thought, well, we're all going to be standing around a fire. Why waste it, right? So Alaska. And nothing was planned. I seriously thought I would just have some people over, give each other some hugs, have a tearful goodbye, and that was that. There were 20 people who came. I was astounded. We stood around for 2 hours talking and laughing, and everyone grabbed a piece of our trash and wrote notes on it and then threw it into the fire in this beautiful ritualistic kind of ceremony that just was so organic. And I was so moved by that. And then 4 friends stayed behind. I was like, oh, my ride or dies. Actually, my ride and die friends. I asked them if they would come and stay for a 10-minute dance party because the music room that we built, which was initially supposed to be a garage, but it was too beautiful. So we turned it into a space to house Tim's guitars and his piano, my guitar. My friend Corey had given us this awesome little lighting system that threw all these beautiful designs all over the walls. So Tim fired up the music, and my friends danced with me. And I hugged them in the end and just cried because I didn't even think I'd get to do that. That was a bucket list item that I just never saw fitting in. And even though it was only ended up being maybe 20 minutes because Tim and I got the last dance, yeah, that was really special. Oh my God, Bo, this is so beautiful. I literally just sat there screaming, oh my God, the minute I opened it. And I just needed you to see that. And then there was the part where all of my belongings, I woke up one morning in a panic thinking nobody's going to know what to do with all of this stuff. Well, Corey, she has a costume closet. So she inspired me to bring every costume I own when we moved to Alaska. At one point, we were gonna all go down to the water when the tour buses go by and be dressed in ball gowns and dinosaur outfits and whatever around a tea table and just make it seem like this is a normal everyday thing because we thought it'd be hilarious. We had Taylor Swift dance parties where we did every outfit change and looked very much like what Taylor looked like. I had a Taylor wig and everything. I had all this costume jewelry. And so I invited Corey over and told her I really wasn't sure how I wanted this to pan out, but I really want all my things to go, art supplies, all of it, to go towards the hospice sale. And then I thought, I don't know that I want it to be part of the annual hospice sale because I don't know that it would help as much as if we did a separate sale. And Corey had the best idea. She said that have a dance party at my house after I'm gone. Anyone can make a minimum donation to Hospice of Haines and to be able to take a little piece of me home with you. People can bring their things to sell as well, but it'll be my core people, and hopefully we'll raise a bit of money for a much needed service in that area. So that was a bit of a panic mode, but she has my things now, and I'm kind of sad because I'm going to the Taylor Swift album release party in the theaters tomorrow, and all of my sequins and my Taylor wig and headdresses and all the things are in Alaska. It's not that different from having company and realizing I no longer have a set of even 4 bowls to serve people in because everything's in Alaska. So yes, we have a house here, but it's not as fully equipped. So what else? Oh, Tom and Liz came with Terry and Matthew and Ann and Tim. First, we threw some axes, as you do in Alaska. And Tom showed up with his guitar, which for some reason I thought he'd want to be jamming with Tim. But Ann knew better. She knew the minute she saw it that he was going to serenade me. And sure enough, that's what he did. And poor Ann couldn't even look the whole time because I know she was just crying. But it was so beautiful.
It's for you, Kim, with your beautiful spirit. Shit. I can do this. So good.
We were looking out at the mountain, and it was like these really special people to me. So that was incredible. And then Lady Aurora started dancing across the sky several nights later. So I called Corey and Ann, and 3:30 in the morning, they came over for tea on the deck, and we were calling out the animals in the sky. And the best was when Ann points out a random star at one point, and she says, I think that one's a unicorn. We looked at the app. Oh my gosh, it actually was a unicorn. Thank you, ladies, for being mine. I love you so much. But then fun time was over because it was time to put things away. We have to put the garden to rest before we leave. So I'm going to use these to compost my other garden. But they're just so beautiful. I hate saying goodbye to my garden. Hi guys. Hi, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay. One last swing as the dogs walk over my head. I have much more to say about what the journey was like going across the country and the different phases of grief I felt like we were driving through, but I'll get to that. And I also have a health update, partial health update. We're going to have another test to clarify. So I will get back to you on that soon as well. But there's just been so much. So my apologies. I know you're going to say I don't need to, but I do, because I never meant to leave everyone hanging. I just couldn't breathe. And on some levels, I still can't. But I love you, and we'll talk soon. Bye. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I've always wanted to paint canvases for our living room, and here we go. Literally leaving in 2 days. you.